This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Don't you listen to what the man says.
Hey, and welcome back to Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Zach Spencer, and today we're talking with NexGen Hearing about hearing aids, the assistance that is out there for you to live a better life, because it really changes your life, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
And by the way, Dr. Ted Venema is a regular expert. He's back again, and it really... what is the number one thing people say after they've been fitted with hearing aids and they have some hearing loss?
They'll say, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier.
Yeah.
It's people put off buying hearing aids, and the research is replete with this knowledge. People put off buying hearing aids for at least 5 to 7 years after they know they need them. It's something people tend to keep shoving under the rug, and it's the procrastination that takes place is typical, and it's everywhere. But once fit well with hearing aids, people think, gosh, I should have done this 8 years ago.
And we have another clip from Sean Riley, who is from Oticon, talking about their line, and a very interesting conversation. We had Sean on in a previous show, so we're going to play our second clip from him.
That is our goal. That is our company's philosophy from the ground up. Everything we do is to mimic the natural hearing, because the one difference that we really look at is ears don't do the hearing. It's the brain that does the hearing. It's the brain that filters speech from noise. So we need to give, and we call it brain hearing technology. We need to give the auditory cortex and the human brain, we need to give it the information that it is looking for. And so, and maybe Ted can talk about this just with regards to...
Yeah, before you jump into that, you can reference your research you mentioned just before the break about how much less effort goes into it. And then Dr. Venema will talk a little bit about how that it really helps people with their brain power.
Absolutely.
Right? So to give us a little background.
So our brain hearing research, we've been talking about this for years, and then we did a research project, and when we did this, through our proven research methods, we were able to show that open reduced a 20% listening effort as compared to our next best product.
Right.
So to our, what was premium 2 years ago, we compared it to that. And it just leaves more energy for the day.
Yep.
Because we all know we've had a taxing mental day. You're tired because your brain uses a lot of energy. Right?
And listening takes a lot of effort. And when Sean says it's 20% better than, it's not than the other competitor, it's 20% better than Oticon's previous product, which is something to say. You know, with listening effort, you're directing all your brain's power to trying to figure out what must have been said, because you've got a hearing loss, and so you don't know whether they said dishes or fishes or kittens or mittens. So you're always backtreading to find out what the context was.
And you're lip reading.
And you're lip reading. You're using your eyes, which are your oldest hearing aids. And when you are diverting a lot of your cognitive attention toward just the act of listening, you're unable to tap into or pay attention to what else you should be paying around, looking at around you. So you only have so much cognition up there, and if you're delivering an excess of that to listening because of your hearing loss, you're going to have a cognitive decline in other areas. And that's why people are beginning to hear a lot about the topic hearing loss and cognitive decline. And it's not like hearing loss causes cognitive decline. I mean, otherwise children with hearing loss would be having affected, would be affected too. That's not it. The problem is when you're directing so much listening effort to trying to hear what must have been said, you're unable to focus what you should upon what is going around you. It just makes sense.
So this opens up the natural soundscape, but it opens up your brain to be able to do other things, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, the computer only has so much power, right?
Yep.
So therefore...
And one of those other things it allows us to do is remember up to 20% more of the words we hear.
Right.
So again, 20% less listening effort allows us to remember 20% more. And we also, in this study, we had proof that there was 30% better speech understanding and noise.
Oh, well, that's good too, of course.
30% is a huge jump.
These are massive jumps. And so this is really, when we talk about this paradigm shift in this product, this, and this industry goes through that, where there's sort of a slow progression and then a jump, and then a slow progression and a jump. And this is one of those jumps.
Now, is this much more expensive to go to the open system?
Comes in 3 different price levels. So we have Open 1, our premium, Open 2, and Open 3. So the best hearing aid's Open 1, the second best is Open 2, and the third best is Open 3.
So depending on your budget, you can go.
Absolutely, yep. And all can be purchased at NexGen Hearing.
All right. Now, let's get into the whiz-bang stuff,
Yeah.
what it can do other than just hearing. And we've had the other guests talking about connectivity and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure you have something that's interesting about your product.
Yeah, so there's a couple different things. So this, the Oticon Open is the world's first dual radio system. So it uses both what we call near field magnetic radio. So it's just the hearing aids talk to each other very quickly, ear to ear.
Right. And that gets you your left and right and your spatial sound, right?
That gets you your spatial awareness, yeah, and that that gives you the interaural level difference, that's when we talk about natural hearing and brain hearing. We have 2 ears, and they're on the side of our head because we use interaural level difference. So if somebody talks on my right, my right ear, it's louder and it comes to that ear faster than my left ear. It's quieter and it got there slower. So my auditory cortex understands where the sound came from, and it uses interaural level difference, interaural time difference. I'll let the doctor talk more about that.
It's you have 2 eyes to see depth.
Right.
Right? If you have 1 eye, you really don't have any
Right,
depth.
right.
You have 2 ears to localize the direction of sound. And it's, as Sean says, it's not like the right ear hears from the right and the left ear is here. It's your brain is constantly comparing.
That was a good Bullwinkle. That was a great Bullwinkle, yeah. Sorry.
I'm going to tell you more now. But your brain is constantly comparing the information given to it from each ear.
Right.
And as Sean says, if someone's talking to my left ear, I'm going to hear that sound a split second before I get it to the right ear. And also the left ear will hear it a little bit louder. And so your brain is always using the timing and loudness cues constantly for you to compare the direction.
So you have the ability to communicate between left and right, but you have another way.
So that's one of our radio systems that does that. And we're the world's first to have a dual radio system. The second radio is a 2.4 gigahertz made for iPhone. So it streams direct to your iPhone. So if you're wearing a pair of Opens and you have an iPhone and the phone call comes in, your grandkids phone you, you can answer it on the phone and boom, you hear them right in both hearing aids. You don't need to pick up the phone. You don't need to touch anything. You just need to answer the phone and you're done. And then you can talk.
Cool.
And you're hearing directly in your ears and at the volume that is preferred for you.
Now, what's this TV adapter?
Yeah, so there's again, with the 2.4 gigahertz Bluetooth, there's a simple TV adapter. And this is, we know a lot of our seniors still watch a ton of TV. I know the kids nowadays are all watching YouTube and Netflix, but certainly TV and radio is still a traditional media.
Thank goodness for that on CL 650.
A little plug there for listening to radio. But how the TV adapter works is it's just a little black box. It plugs into the back of your TV, the audio. And when you want to watch TV, you hit a button on your hearing aid and boom, your television audio is streamed directly into your hearing aids. Again, it is direct to your hearing aids and it's to your needs.
Yeah.
So now there's no more turn the TV up. If you and your spouse want to watch TV or
you want to watch at night, so your spouse can fall asleep and you can stay and watch the Tonight Show at night, right?
Yep. You can put the actual TV volume with the TV speakers. You can put it down to 0 and you can listen to and go ahead and listen to it at whatever volume you require.
Yeah.
Now, so this Open, the best way to go is to NexGen and ask for what? What should you be asking for when you go in there?
You should ask for the Oticon Open. Again, It's spelled OPN. We dropped the E so we could trademark it. But the Oticon Open that's what you want to do. And certainly NexGen, when you go there, you're going to get a professional assessment.
Sure.
And you're going to get a recommendation from
You're going to get an explanation.
Yes.
And they're going to take a case history, and they're going to walk the walk with you. And they don't just sell hearing aids, but they want to see you after a week to find out how are you doing with the hearing aids. And after 2 weeks, how are you doing can we change things?
Yep.
Ta-da, so they walk the walk with you.
Our thanks to Sean Riley from Oticon, and we're back with Dr. Ted Venema, our in-house expert here from NexGen Hearing, and it's great that you're here. We're doing a kind of a recap, and we're going to have some other guests. We have Janet Clark on. What company is she from?
She works with Phonak, Phonak. That's another large hearing aid manufacturer based out of Switzerland.
Okay, that's coming up later in the show. And Victoria McLeod.
She's based out of Winnipeg, and she works for a hearing aid manufacturer called Resound, Resound. They also are another big player in the hearing aid industry.
And I think what our listeners will get out of this as we go through the remainder of the hour is just how competitive these companies are, and that benefits the consumer, right?
It does. I mean, hearing aids are put out about once every 6 months.
That's
a
that much?
New generation.
Wow.
They just, and there's only, as I said, the playing field only includes about 7 players.
Have you ever been to one of the labs or the head office of these places?
Absolutely. I used to work at one of them.
Oh, really? What's it like?
It's great. One of the company I worked with was called Unitron, which is a Canadian-based hearing aid company based out of Kitchener, Ontario.
They still around?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right on the corner of Beasley and Homer Watson. Big place. They hire hundreds of people, and there's a manufacturing section where they're actually assembling hearing aids, but then there's a huge R&D, research and development section.
That's where the money goes.
And that's where the money goes. I mean, that's where you've got all these PhD engineers and electrical engineers and software developers and things like that.
Microphone technology and speaker
Yep.
technology.
Microphone and speaker technology and amplifier technology. And remember, hearing aids are all digital. So not only does the mic change the incoming sound into electricity, but then the numbers and the electrical current has to be changed into digits. Yeah, it's just like zeros and ones, binary. It's the digital age, and hearing aids are no exception.
And how has that changed your business? How has the digital era changed?
Totally. You know, we used to adjust hearing aids with a tiny little screwdriver.
Wow.
And you'd put that into a tiny little screw, and you'd turn the screw to reduce the bass or increase the treble.
So those were basically like the volume and treble knobs on your old stereo receiver, right?
Yes. They're just like the turning knobs, or like the sliding knob you have to, like on a dimmer switch, you know? And they were analog. It was all analog. And so...
And how long ago was that?
Not long. Digital hearing aids came out in 1997.
So 20 years.
20 years.
Right.
And it's completely... So hearing aids are now programmed with software.
So people who maybe don't have a hearing aid now still think that's what they would be buying.
Yes, because they're remembering those beige curved bananas that people wore behind their ears that whistled a lot. I mean, that's the general picture that a lot of people have of hearing aids. Now, those hearing aids were all analog, and they worked okay, but they, you know, even today, a hearing aid is a hearing aid, not a new ear.
Right.
Okay? So always have realistic expectations. We're never going to make your hearing like it was back when you were 10.
No.
But we can certainly turn the clock of time back a couple decades. That's for sure.
Really?
And today's hearing aids handle noise
Now, you
better.
don't wear hearing aids.
No.
But you must try them and see that even with somebody who doesn't require them, that your hearing can
That's
be improved.
right. In fact, when I was running an office for NexGen Hearing, I wore one of Sean Riley's pairs of hearing aids while I caught the bus home in Victoria.
Right.
And I was listening to the hearing aids, you know, how conversations were on the bus and how they handled the noise and the air conditioner or the door opening and all of that. And quite phenomenal how they handle naturally very difficult listening situations in ways that the beige bananas of yesterday couldn't.
So Janet McLeod is from what company again?
Victoria McLeod is from Resound, and Janet...
Sorry, Janet Clark.
Janet Clark is from Phonak.
Yeah, and we're going to have her on as part of the conversation we had on a previous show. When we return, don't worry, Victoria McLeod's coming up as well. Next on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.